For those of you who don't know, this is just a word slang. And I have a disease called type 1 diabetes, juvenile diabetes. Had it since I was 11 years old. Now, I'm going to take you through the process of exactly what I have to do, sometimes twice, but always once. All right, let's open up what we got. This is our kit. A few things I've already set up. Insulin. This is insulin as well. 2 different kinds. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, as I've stated, there's 2 types of insulin that I take. One is the long-acting insulin, which works for 24 hours, or close to 24 hours. Next is Humalog. This is a fast-acting insulin and can be very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. You can be in the hospital about this. Crazy, right? This is a glucose monitor. This is what checks your blood for glucose. These are the strips. Here is the pen that you would be putting a needle in, and it has a button which acts like a gun trigger. And that's what pokes your skin for blood to test. Oh, and these are those needles. Simply twist off the cap, the needle inside. I only got one hand, so just like that, you take this tab off and it reveals the needle. Screw this back on top. The pens actually have small settings as far as, I guess, the thickness of your skin. I usually leave it at 1 because I don't have very thick skin on my hands. But 5 if you have, like, some older or senior elderly people have to use 5 to get through the skin. Here's that strip I was talking about. You insert it in this way. Once you put blood on, you're going to put this close to your finger and it'll suck up the blood. Okay, let's go. Okay, now we do the finger prick. This is not the hard part. But sometimes can be pain in the ass. You want to make sure you find a really good finger that's juicy, not dry. Juicy meaning that you have your blood, your blood is moving. Sometimes you can squeeze. I only got one hand right now because I'm recording, but you get the point. Blood on the finger.
Your blood glucose rating is 149 milligrams per deciliter.
Okay, 149 for me is bad because I haven't taken my medicine yet. Here's the second step. This is me taking the medicine. Yes, you will be using syringes and you will have to give yourself a shot. So, or 2. But I promise you the needles are small and you'll be okay. As I previously stated, I already set up the insulin to be used for myself right now because it's about 6 o'clock where I'm at and it's time for me to take my insulin. The units are how much of the 24-hour acting insulin that you take. I don't need as much because I'm a smaller person. Once again, I have type 1 diabetes, which means it was not caused by weight gain or anything. It's juvenile diabetes. I was born with it. That's the top of the needle. We're going to pop that off. Okay. This is the needle. Told you it wasn't that bad. It just looks bad. But look, you can barely even see it. Kind of. Let me back up. Oh yeah, you can. Pretty thin though. They call it thin needles. But I'll show you what's going on. Next, the needle has to be inserted into a fatty part of the body. Most likely either the underarm, the back of the arm, the stomach, or the buttocks or thigh. I choose to do it with our stomach. cap goes back on the needle and you twist it off because it takes the whole thing with it. Well, give me a second. I only got one hand. Okay, that's what it looks like without the needle. So you see where you have to screw those caps in. You have to screw them in. These are those caps here. Peel the piece of paper off on the back and then you just put them on top and start screwing them on. And that's it. You put your equipment away. You make sure you test your blood sugar, your glucose. Use your glucose meter. I use mine 4 times a day. Take your medicine. And for those who don't know what type 1 diabetes is, again, it's not the one where Big Mama got her leg cut off. You're born with it. And it sucks. But I still smile.